The Red Sox ace John Lester makes his second start of the season as the Red Sox try to grab the last game of the three-game series with Milwaukee. Next on Nesson. Welcome to a sunny day from Fenway Park as the fans file in for Game 3 of the three-game series between the Brewers and the Red Sox. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox got out of spring training pretty much injury-free, but it's amazing how quickly your roster can change in the last 24 to 48 hours. Red Sox all of a sudden starting to get banged up, and their third baseman is placed on the disabled list today. Will Middlebrooks with the right calf strain scratched just before the game started last night and is placed on the DL today, with Brock Holt, who was a contributor last year, coming up from the Paw Sox last season. He does the same today and is on the Red Sox roster. So that is the move for today. And, Jerry, we've seen over the years your roster can change very quickly with a couple of injuries.
That certainly has with the Red Sox. Of course, Shane Victorino, the first guy going on the DL, and now Will Middlebrooks. And it's really too bad for Will because he was starting to swing the bat very well. He got off to a slow start the first couple of games in Baltimore, but then really started to make good, solid contact and was feeling pretty good about himself. Unfortunately, this injury pops up, and, you know, to be a successful team, you have to have guys come up and fill in. And, of course, you mentioned Brock Holt coming in. Jonathan Herrera is playing in there today. So while Middlebrooks is on the DL, the Red Sox are going to need some help down there at third base. And to be a successful ball club, you've got to have depth, and hopefully the Red Sox can show some of that depth.
Now the Red Sox trying to salvage the last game of the three-game series. Tough loss last night, but a good night for Mike Napoli. Picks up a long home run to center field, a 3-run shot. They'll try to keep it going today. We're back with the first pitch from Fenway right after this. The new Scion TC, Dunkin' Donuts, and Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. Well, there's plenty of sunshine. Still chilly here in the back bay of Boston as the Red Sox host the Milwaukee Brewers for the final game of this three-game series. And as you can see, not a cloud in the sky to begin this game today. Lots of sunshine, but 51 degrees. The breeze out to right field at 10 miles per hour, and the forecast for more sunshine today. And the Red Sox certainly glad to have that with them today. As last night, a very chilly night here at Fenway Park, and the Red Sox trying to salvage this final game of the series. Milwaukee has won Game 1 and Game 2, and Red Sox going after it today with their ace John Lester on the hill. And Jerry, the Red Sox today, a little different looking lineup. It seems to be changing daily, but a lot of that due to the current injuries the Red Sox are enduring.
Yeah, unfortunately, as we talked about in the open, Will Middlebrooks on the disabled list for the Red Sox with a bad calf, and so that puts him sets him back for at least 15 days. And Jonathan Herrera will get the start at third base, and we also called up Brock Holt from the minor leagues, who can also play some third base. But it's funny, you come out of spring training pretty decent shape, with the exception of Victorino the last day going on the disabled list, and now you got Middlebrooks there. But those are things that you have to fight through the course of a very long season.
And Grady Sizemore has the day off today with the day game after the night game, so it'll be Daniel Nava who's atop the Red Sox lineup today. So the Sizemore leading off situation happens for one game so far as John Farrell reshuffles that lineup once again. And John Lester getting ready for his second start of the year. So the first start in Baltimore for John as he lasted 7 innings, giving up 2 runs in that outing. And the Red Sox will take the field today from Fenway. Now, as the Red Sox take the field, let's check out the Milwaukee Brewers starting 9 on this Junior Announcer Day from Fenway.
Thanks, Don. My name is Allie, and I'm from Wayland, Mass. Leading off for the Brewers, playing center field, Carlos Gomez. Batting second to the second baseman, Ricky Weeks. Batting third, playing right field, Ryan Braun. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Aramis Ramirez. Batting fifth, the catcher, Jonathan Luke Roy. Batting sixth, playing left field, Chris Davis. Batting seventh, playing third base, Mark Reynolds. Batting eighth, the first baseman, Lyle Overbay. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Jeff Bianchi.
Nice job, Allie, and nice hat as the Red Sox have taken the field, and John Lester's on the hill. Take a look at the John Lester key matchup. Lester's last season, 33 starts, 15-8 with a 3.75 earned run average. And then last time out against the Baltimore Orioles, he got the start on opening day, 7 innings, giving up 2 runs as the Red Sox lost to Baltimore. The key matchup has been brought to you by People's United Bank, where John Lester does his banking.
The Red Sox defense today is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and they have made 4 errors in their 5 games. Jonathan Herrera will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. And Mike Napoli, the first baseman. Left to right, Johnny Gomes, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Daniel Nava. And David Ross doing the catching for John Lester.
Well, the umpiring crew today, Clint Fagan has a play calling the balls and strikes with Tim Timmons at first base. Todd Titchener is at second base, and the crew chief, who had the play last night, Tim Welke, is at third base. And leading it off here for the Brewers, Carlos Gomez. He's had a pretty good series. The center fielder checking in here on the right side. He's led off every game so far for the Brewers and been in center field. Pretty quick turnaround for both teams after the late night last night in the extra inning ball game. Here's the first pitch of the ball game, and it is fouled off per usual. The Brewers going right after it. Now, today's key matchup is brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Gomez 1 for 10 with 4 strikeouts, lifetime against the Red Sox ace. And he is quickly in the hole, 0-2. John Lester, 1 career start against the Brewers, a 4-2 defeat back in 2011 here at Fenway. Ground ball foul down to the Brewers dugout.
That first game that Lester pitched against the Baltimore Orioles, 8 strikeouts and 1 walk in the 7 innings. Giving up the 2 earned runs.
The 0-2 pitch. In the air to shallow left center field. In comes Jackie Bradley Jr. and makes the catch for the first out. So Carlos Gomez retired, and here comes Ricky Weeks to make his first appearance of the series. Weeks 104 games last year, hitting at 209 into double figures in home runs and 24 RBIs. Scooter Gennett had started the previous 2 games at second base, but today Ricky Weeks in there on the right side facing the left-hander. And he's also first pitch swinging, fouling it off to the right.
We have watched that this whole series from the Milwaukee Brewers. A lot of first pitch swing, very aggressive on the base paths.
Ricky Weeks has been in the big league since '03 with Milwaukee. Back up the middle, but Bogart's good rangy play with a sidearm toss that's in time. 2 down in the first inning. Here comes Ryan Braun, who's been booed throughout this series and will likely be booed everywhere he goes but Milwaukee this season as he makes his way to the plate. He's been battling a thumb injury, and it kept him out of the lineup last night. He's had a very slow start for the season, just 1 for 16. Braun takes the strike over the inside corner. Ryan Braun, 30 years of age, in the midst of a 10-year contract with Milwaukee. Hits it on the ground left side, deep short, and off of Bogaerts. It kicks into foul ground. Braun with a wide turn at first, but he'll hold there. As Bogaerts trying to get himself set there at deep short, ends up booting it.
Yeah, sometimes you start to second guess yourself. Should I have tried to front this ball or played it to the backhand? And you can see right there that looked like it might have been a better chance with the backhand for Xander Bogaerts than trying to front the baseball.
Well, it was ruled a base hit, and reaching at first base is Braun. Still runs fairly well and able to reach there with 2 down in the inning. Aramis Ramirez, cleanup hitter, the DH today after starting the first 2 games down to third base. He gets a day off from third, and it's Mark Reynolds at third base today for the Brewers. There's 35 years of age, from Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic. Spending his entire career in the National League as he fouls this one off himself, and he's hobbling around here.
And Ramirez has 4 at-bats in his career against John Lester. 3 of those hits. So 3 for 4 in his career against Lester.
Started with the Pittsburgh Pirates, first 6 years in the majors, then moved to the Cubs. So remember the Cubs from 2003 through 2011, and now in his 3rd season with the Milwaukee Brewers. One is to shallow left. Gomes kind of froze, but now comes on and makes the catch. It ends the top of the first inning for Milwaukee. Red Sox are coming up. Today, here's the Red Sox starting 9.
Thanks, Don. My name is Steven from Dayton, Connecticut. Leading off for the Red Sox is the right fielder Daniel Nava. At second base, Dustin Pedroia. The designated hitter, Big Papi, David Ortiz. Batting fourth at first base, Mike Napoli. The shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. In left field, Johnny Gomes. The third baseman, Jonathan Harriet. The center fielder, Jackie Bradley Jr. And batting ninth, the catcher, David Ross.
Great job, Steven, as the Red Sox come to bat here, and Daniel Nava takes a look at a strike. On the mound is Giovanni Gallardo. Gallardo, 31 starts a year ago, 12-10 with a 4.18 earned run average. 144 Ks to 66 walks. Is 0-1. As Nava will take a look at a ball a little bit low, and it's 1-1. Starter against the Atlanta Braves on Monday, opening day. 6 shutout innings for Gallardo. Struck out 4, walked 2. On the outside corner, 1-2.
Hey, it's mostly a fastball pitch, a fastball, curveball, a cut fastball, and very, very few changeups.
Over 1,000 strikeouts for Gallardo. Ranks second all-time for the Brewers, only behind Ben Sheets. On the ground, diving at third is Reynolds from his knees. A one-hopper there in time. Nice play by Mark Reynolds. Most of his time is at first base for the most part over the last few years, but a good diving play there.
Yeah, taking extra bases away right here. As you can see, he's well off the line, and that ball slicing away from him, but a one-step crossover and a dive, and then one hop off the grass. Nice play at the other end by Lyle Overbay.
Well, Brewers have had a tough series defensively in this series, but a nice play turned in by Reynolds. Last night, a few costly miscues at the time before getting the win in 11 innings. Dustin Pedroia off to the .375 start on the season. No homers and no runs batted in. Trying to pick up that outside corner. Gallardo wanted it, didn't get it.
And so far, that fastball registering about 90, 91 miles an hour.
Two-one is lined down the right field line. It is a foul ball. And the first row of seats down there and back out again. Well, for Gallardo in his career, 183 games, he's 82-53 with a 3.70 earned run average. 8th major league season, and all of them have come as a member of the Milwaukee Brewers. Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach for the Brewers. 2-2 pitch. On the ground, back up the middle, ranging is Weeks. Long throw for the second baseman. That'll be late. It'll get away. Into the Red Sox dugout. They will give second base to Dustin Pedroia.
Once that ball got by the shortstop, Bianchi, and Weeks had to make the play on it. They were not going to get Pedroia at first base, and Overbay cannot come up with it. It goes by the screen in the Red Sox dugout into the dugout, so Pedroia is allowed to go to second base. So that'll be a base hit and error on the second baseman, Weeks.
So Pedroia in scoring position for David Ortiz. Last night came off the bench to pinch hit. And back in the starting lineup today for Boston. He is 6 for 18 so far in the season at .333. Shift on here for David Ortiz. They keep the shortstop, the Yankee, close to the bag at second. Trying to keep Pedroia close to the bag at second. Ron Renicky, the manager of the Brewers. Renicky, another one of those managers that was on Mike Socha's coaching staff, along with Joe Madden, Bud Black, and others who have ventured off to manage their own teams. Fourth season for Renicky as the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. His current contract runs through next year and a club option for 2016. To center field, Gomez makes the catch as Pedroia bluffs as if he's going, and Gomez fires it back in off the mark and then some. Ball gets away, but it's backed up. Wild throw coming in from center field, and Gomez.
Let's take a look at the Brewers defense. They've made 3 errors in the 5 games they played. They actually make it 4 errors now in the 5 games. Mark Reynolds will be at third base. Jeff Bianchi, the shortstop. Ricky Weeks at second. And Lyle Overbay, the first baseman. Left to right, Chris Davis, Carlos Gomez, and Ryan Braun. And Jonathan LaCroix doing the catching.
2 down here in the bottom of the first inning with Pedroia at second base and Mike Napoli coming up.
That ball hit very hard by David Ortiz on the line, but Gomez right there in center field. There's no way Pedroia could have known that that throw was going to be so far off target. And in scoring position with 2 outs, you can't take a chance.
The high strike call to Napoli, who stroked his second home run of the year here last night. A 3-run shot to center field. Napoli had homered to center field at Camden Yards in Baltimore, and last night his first Fenway home run of 2014. It was 6-2 at the time. That made it 6-5. And of course the Red Sox would tie it up 6-6. 2 for 7 against Milwaukee in this 3-game series. That's a fly ball skied foul down the right field line, out of play. Willie Peralta, who started last night's game, gave up the home run to Napoli with 5 innings, charged with 5 runs. There is strike 3. Napoli lets it go by. Doesn't like the call. Strikeout number 1 for Gallardo. Done with 1. No score from Fenway. We'll talk about Jackie Bradley Jr. when we come back.
On Friday that what he loves most about his outfield is their versatility, and as you said, JBJ falls right into that category. His natural position where he's at today, of course, is center field. He's seen most of his action in left, and last night got his first start in right field. So I asked JBJ before the game about the difference in the three positions, particularly at Fenway, and our Geico quote of the day.
It's something that you definitely got to work at because, every single position has its, different, nicks and knacks, especially at Fenway, especially, you got the wall and you got the carom wall in right field and just center field. There's just so many different angles that the ball can bounce off of. So it's just continuously getting the work in.
I remember listening to Carl Everett in the first couple of years, Jerry, that I worked here, and he would talk about trying to figure out where you stand here at Fenway Park in center field because of that. The triangle out there in right center is so different from anywhere else.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange the way the wall cuts out the way it does, and it makes you feel sometimes, especially if you're new to this ballpark, that you are playing out of position.
Jackie Bradley Jr. bowed straight up here on the batter, Jonathan Lucroy, who we're getting to see for the first time. He's had a pretty good series for Milwaukee. And a swing and a miss. You played with one of the game's best center fielders in your time with Fred Lynn, who manned that wall and out there in center field very well.
He certainly did, and he played that wall out there in center field with before there was padding put on it.
This is struck well down the left field line, and it is going to be off the wall. Gomes plays the carom over by the garage doors. Heading into second base goes Lucroy. He's got himself a leadoff double to begin the second inning, and he continues to do well.
Yeah, he has been very, very impressive in this series against the Red Sox. There's the cut fastball that stays up a little bit more than John Lester would have liked it to, and he's able to rifle it off that left field wall for the double. Lucroy's had a very good series here against the Red Sox offensively.
4 for 10 in the series. Has had some big hits. And he stands at second base to begin things here in the second inning. Chris Davis 6 for 19 to begin the year, the left fielder for the Brewers. Showing bunt, drops it down the third baseline. Herrera was not going to charge. Now he does, and he has no play. Bunt single as it works out. First he was thinking about ducking backwards to cover the bag at third. Then he came on, and it all took too long.
Yeah, got caught in the middle thinking that John Lester was going to be able to make the play on it, but the ball quickly gets by Lester, and Herrera kind of trapped. You can see right there, once it gets by, there's no play at all at any base. That looked like a straight-out sacrifice attempt, didn't it? Trying to get a run early here against John Lester.
So a bunt single here, first and third, nobody out, and power hitting Mark Reynolds coming up. Reynolds 2 for 9 with a home run so far. Got the start last night. He's already made a nice defensive play at third base today, and lines one to right field, and that'll get in and get by Nava, who misplays it. From third comes Lucroy. He'll score. Davis being waved around. Throw will come to the plate. It will be late, and the Brewers get 2 runs. Well, Nava came in, little indecision there, costs him as it short hops him and gets by him, and 2-run score for the Brewers.
Once again, first ball hitting to the opposite field, and Nava got trapped. He got trapped on whether to try to make a catch on the line drive or back off it. By the time he backs off, it's too late, and now he's got to chase it down. So these Brewers once again being very aggressive in this inning and out to the 2-0 lead.
A single, 1 RBI, and the error that allows the second run to score, and Reynolds able to take second base on it. And it is 2-0 Milwaukee for Lyle Overbay.
Lyle Overbay, the left-handed hitter in that lineup today against Lester, because he's had great success against him. 321 against Lester in his career with a couple of home runs.
Good overall success against Boston. A lot of those years coming as a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. 1-0 fouled off to the left, and it's 1-1. Overbay has now appeared in the first 4 of 6 games for Milwaukee, and back at first base again today. All the starts have come at first. David Ross today doing the catching, making his second start, and Lester called him out. To left field, Johnny Gomes going back towards the track to make the catch. A little stumble at the end, but John able to get back there and make the grab as he reached the dirt of the track for just the first out of the inning.
Johnny Gomes struggling a little bit as he goes back to make this catch. He had to spin back around to his right side to be able to make the catch. And the Red Sox finally do pick up the first out of the inning. That ball hit pretty well by Overbay.
One down here in the second inning. No advance for Reynolds, still at second base. And here's Jeff Bianchi. Bianchi 0 for 4 on his first appearance here of the series. 0 for 4 on the season. Got into 100 games last year. John Lester finished up a terrific spring. He gave up just 1 earned run in 12 2/3 innings pitched. 0.71 ERA during the spring. On that first outing against Baltimore, dealt the loss in a 7-inning effort, giving up 2 runs.
That time going with the cut fastball to get the swing and miss against Bianchi.
No 2 popped up foul off to the right out of play. Well, baseball is back in season, so gather 20 or more of your friends, family, and coworkers for a group outing at Fenway and secure exclusive access to seats. Call 877 Red Sox 9 or visit redsox.com/groups for more information. Another great crowd on hand here today at Fenway Park playing day baseball. Just away and framed by Ross.
There's a couple of pitches in this sequence that Lester thought that maybe would go his way. It's going to be outside the Amica pitch zone right there, but sometimes you do get that call.
On the ground foul to the Brewers dugout and on down further. A little bit low that time, and it's 2-2. Lester in his first outing threw 104 pitches against Baltimore. Red Sox providing him just 1 run of support. Now is a 4th inning solo home run by Grady Sizemore. Pitched great, but he took the loss. Snap throw to second base, and it's very high, and it goes into center field, but charging in was Jackie Bradley Jr., so no advance for Reynolds at second base. Ross tried to pick him off.
Good heads-up play by Jackie Bradley in center field. Knowing this ball's going to be high, he can read that from center field and puts a very quick charge on it. Keep that runner at second base. There's Ross with the throw. The face mask coming off, and he knows it's going to be high, but backed up by Bradley Jr.
There's a fly ball down the right field line. Nava over towards the seats, and Nava reaches in and makes the catch. Daniel Nava banged his knees on the wall as he arrived, but he makes the catch reaching into the first row.
That's a very nice effort by Daniel Nava out there in right field, because that becomes very difficult territory. You're running out of room. You have no idea where the wall is. And there he bangs into the wall and is able to make the catch. A nice effort by Daniel Nava.
Great job by the fans, too, to kind of back away and give him the opportunity to make that catch. So no advance for Reynolds at second base, 2 down, and Carlos Gomez, who flied to center field first time up, gets his second look and takes strike one. Good swing and a miss, 0-2.
And good live fastball there from Lester at 93 miles an hour, a little bit up above the belt.
Time call, Ross and Lester going back and forth, so they'll talk it over. Carlos Gomez, originally a New York Met, and his first year in the big leagues was 07. Was traded by the Mets to Minnesota in the Johan Santana deal, and then acquired by the Brewers from Minnesota for J.J. Hardy, who now, of course, is the everyday shortstop for the Orioles. 0-2 is skied to center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. drifting back. He'll make the catch shy of the track that ends the inning. 2 runs in the inning for the Brewers, who take a 2-0 lead. Xander Bogaerts, Johnny Gomes, and Herrera coming up.
Don Xander, of course, coming up to the plate right now. Went 2 for 4 with a double and a walk last night. That means that he has now reached base 11 times in 21 plate appearances over the club's first 5 games. That makes him the first American leaguer that was aged 21 or younger to hit that mark since Reggie Jackson in 1968.
I have a feeling we're going to be saying a lot of things about his youth during the course of the year and him amassing some impressive stats at such a young age. Comes into this at bat 7 for 17 to begin the year as he takes pitch outside. Bogaerts making his major league debut. Started shortstop last year on the 20th of August at San Francisco. Ended up in 18 regular season games. Game 5 of the ALCS last year, became the youngest Red Sox player ever to start a postseason game. Appearing in 12 of the Red Sox 16 postseason games and starting the final 8 games at third base. This is into center field, a base hit for Bogaerts. Xander with a leadoff single to begin the bottom of the second inning.
As we talked about, Don, in our view from the booth today, the fact that he can hit the ball all over the ballpark, and that's the thing that's very impressive about him. There he gets a fastball that's inside, and he's able to bring the hands in, shoot it up the middle for a base hit. Sprays the ball all over the place with authority.
Lead runner on for the Red Sox here in the second inning, and it brings up Johnny Gomes. Off to a 2-for-14 start for Gomes. Well, Johnny Gomes made 11 postseason starts in those games. The Red Sox won 10 of the 11 starts that Gomes made during the 2013 postseason run. High for ball 2, 2-0, and now Lucroy headed out to talk to Gallardo. Gallardo is yet to give up a run on the season. His first outing against the Braves, a 6-inning effort. Got through the first inning, but a leadoff walk here in the second. There's a strike as it grabs the corner, and as Johnny Gomes looking back at Clint Fagan. Blocked by Lucroy. No advance at first base for Bogaerts. It was a milestone here last night. Of course, lots of strikeouts for the Red Sox in the game, and first time in franchise history that 5 different Red Sox pitchers each recorded 3 or more Ks in a single game. Buchholz, Capuano, Workman, Uehara, and Tazawa combining for that as Gomes gets the bad news, and he's not like the strike zone, Jerry, so far this season for the most part.
The season, and especially in this series, in the games that he has played. Now this looks like a pretty good pitch. Let's see, right at the bottom of the strike zone, but Gomes doesn't think so. He's already heading down to first base, taking off that elbow pad.
Three-two pitch fouled back, and we'll do it again here. 3-2. Red Sox last night with 18 strikeouts as a staff. It was the most in a game since 2009. Red Sox staff had 20 Ks against Philadelphia back June 12th of 2009. Strike 3 call, and Johnny Gomes didn't like that either as he takes a slow walk to the dugout. Second strikeout for Gallardo.
Now it seemed to me to be the good pitch again, and Gomes again trying to buy ball 4 here, but that ball looked like it had the corner. It was certainly high enough. And Johnny gets the bad news from Fagan, the home plate umpire.
1 on, 1 out. Jonathan Herrera coming up. His second straight start at third base. Today the Red Sox placing Will Middlebrooks on the 15-day DL with a strained right calf muscle. Numbers last year for Herrera. 81 games with the Rockies, hitting at .292. Herrera's 29 years old, from Venezuela. Check on Bogaerts, back to the bag safely. Only major league time for Herrera, all with Colorado, and it began in 2008 for Herrera. Red Sox getting him in a trade for Franklin Morales in December. And he lines it to center field. It's in for a base hit. Bogaerts will take second base. Herrera's got a hit, and the Red Sox have runners at first and second.
That's what we talked about also, the fact, when you get these type of injuries, guys like Victorino going down, Middlebrooks going down, you've got to get people plugged in. Just do your job. And right here, Herrera picks up the base hit. Red Sox have a couple of base runners with the one out.
2 on, 1 away for Jackie Bradley Jr. Two for 8 so far in the season. And he takes strike one. Pitch appeared to be a little bit outside. "37 games last year with Boston. Of course, started the regular season in Boston, or actually in left field at Yankee Stadium, but with the Red Sox. In the dirt, 1-1.
Not been a changeup yet from Gallardo. It has been in fastball, curveball, and cut fastball. That time the curveball down in the dirt. Nice block by LaCroix.
Gallardo wanted that, and it's ball 2, 2-1. Jackie Bradley Jr. 80 games last year for Pawtucket, hitting at .275. There's strike 2, 2-2.
Again, that fastball hitting right at the bottom of the strike zone. Bradley thought it was a little bit low, but a good pitch.
On the ground right side, Weeks ranging with a nice pick, but a bobble. He'll throw to first, and that'll be just in time. And this is going to bring John Farrell out to argue, and we'll see if we get our first challenge from John Farrell this season.
We've had a couple of very close ones over the last couple of nights. Now Farrell's going to peek in toward the dugout. Weeks going to his left. He bobbles it. Now the only play is to first base. Very close.
And John's looking to the dugout trying to figure out. Now he has challenged, apparently.
And I think he may win this challenge.
So he has challenged, and the umpires head over to talk with MLB in New York. Has already had a chance to look at this right away. The first challenge for John Farrell under the new system here in 2014.
It's one of those bang plays at first base where they always say the tie goes to the runner. Well, if that's the case, he should win the challenge, because this did look like almost a tie. As the front foot hit the bag before the ball's in the glove.
Now the question is, Jerry, they have called him out at first base. Is it inconclusive, or is there enough evidence there to turn it over?
Yeah,
that's the question.
That's the big question, and this is so close. Now from that angle,
he looks out.
He looks out. It's tough to tell there if the ball is in the glove right away of Lyle Overbay at first base, but from that other angle we had, Bradley looked like he might have been out at first base. Take another look at this one, and from that angle, it looks like they did get Bradley. So John Farrell may lose this challenge.
This is not taken. It's not quickly though. That's the situation so far. This is taken a little longer than what they've talked about so far as the decision being made, and now they'll take the headsets off. They started to take the headsets off. And he is out. So they stay with the call that they had. Red Sox lose their challenge. John Farrell's first challenge is lost.
That is probably the best look that we can possibly get at it right there. And Bradley's foot was up in the air when the ball was in the glove of Overbay.
So 4-3 on the put out. Runners at second and third. David Ross, the batter. David Ross takes strike one. Ross last year in 36 games. Of course, the concussion situation for him last year. And finished the year very strong, starting in the World Series games. To the backhand for Lucroy. And it's a ball and a strike to David Ross.
Has some experience against Gallardo. A 2 for 4 is Ross with a home run.
There's David Ross spending time with the Dodgers, the Pirates, the Padres, the Reds, the Braves. A lot of National League time for David Ross. Bats with Bogarts at third base, Herrera at second base. 2 down, and the Red Sox trailing by 2. That's a strike again, right at the bottom of the strike zone. That's a call. Ross barking a little bit with Clint Fagan there. He's been doing the catching. He knows what's been called.
Yeah. Ball's down. I hope our pitcher gets that same pitch.
And the pitcher who's down can't take it, so he swings away and fouls it off. Bogarts single to begin the inning. Gomes struck out. A single for Herrera on the ground out by Jackie Bradley Jr. And it's second and third, 2 down. Ross will hit it to short on a hop. Bianchi fires to first for the out, and the Red Sox strand a pair. So our first reviewable play, a challenge, does not go the Red Sox way. The Red Sox schedule now, and visit NESN.com/schedule to import the 2014 schedule directly into your favorite desktop, web, or mobile calendar program. 2-0. Brewers have the lead over the Red Sox. Top half of the third inning. 2, 3, and 4 for Milwaukee. Ground ball to third base. Tough hop, but Herrera's got it. Gets up and fires to first. It was hit so sharply, had time to gather it and get up and set himself with a throw for the first out of the inning.
Nice play by Herrera. You see him in that proper position right there. He'll take the crossover step, make the catch go down, and has plenty of time to get up and make an over-the-top throw to first base to get the out. Of course, infielders engage how much time they have, knowing the speed of the runner and obviously how hard the ball is hit.
One down here in the third inning for Ryan Braun. Reached on an infield hit in the first inning. Braun needed it. He is 1 for 16 to begin the year prior to that single in the first. Four in a row now retired by Lester, who allowed the 2 runs in the second inning. There was a miscue in the inning. Misplayed ball by Nava in right field. Added to another run. In the air, foul off to the right, out of play. Well, first time the Red Sox have seen the Brewers since June of 2011. Red Sox are 7-4 against Milwaukee in the all-time interleague series. Each of the last 7 games have been right here at Fenway Park. Brewers, of course, back in the National League since '97. Braun strikes out, got away briefly from Ross, who has to throw him out, and he does. It's the first strikeout for John Lester today. 2 down.
We mentioned in the last outing for Lester, he had 8 strikeouts against the Baltimore Orioles. Goes to the curveball to pick up his first strikeout. Throw has to be made down to first base by David Ross, but no problem getting Braun.
So the first K for the K men and women up there. 2 down for Aramis Ramirez. They flied out to left field in the first inning. Lester allowed 2 runs in 7 innings in his opening day start against Baltimore. He's given up 2 runs here so far, and 2 2/3 as he grooves in a strike there right down the middle. Curveball that time from Lester. Trying to pick up the corner there as Ross tried to bring it back to the edge. Well, the Red Sox, who have dropped 3 games in a row. John Lester trying to stop that. He was a pretty good stopper last season. Went 9-1 with a 2.68 earned run average in 13 starts following a Red Sox loss. Check swing as it is strike 3. Goes back to Lester. He's going to have to throw to first base. And does for the out that ends the inning. Picks up his second strikeout. Brewers have a 2-0 lead. Sure, you'll be happy to know we're going to come back and check out some more of my video. is made from 100% Arabica coffee for the perfect balance of aroma, body, and taste. Stop in today for a cup of do-it-yourself coffee perfection for only 99 cents, any size. We were just talking about Freddie Lynn. I didn't know he was here today in the Legends Suite here at Fenway Park. Daniel Nava to lead it off here in the third inning. Seemed, Jerry, he was a great athlete all the way around.
Yeah, terrific outfield. What a sweet swing he had, and just a real good ball player.
Nava grounded out to third base in the first inning, 0 for 1. Well, I know you're excited about the video that is coming up here, and we're trying to show you different parts of ballparks you don't have the chance to see on an everyday basis for some of the fans, some of behind the scenes. And today we'll get our chance to walk into the Nesson booth.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, I can hardly. When is this coming up?
After this batter.
Really?
I'm told. Yes, we'll see. But
wow.
It's a tease. I don't want to give you all of it. It's exactly what you're going to see, although you've done it over, 3,000 times or something. But not everybody gets to see that. I mean, that's something behind the scenes. We're starting slow, Jerry.
Yes, we are. I would admit that this segment is starting slow.
Very slow. 3-1 to Nava. This is back at Gallardo. Picks it. Nicely done. Almost got him, but he ends up catching it.
Well, just flags that glove up there and able to take it right in front of his face for the first out here in the third inning. A line drive right back through the middle by Daniel Nava, and reaching across his body is Gallardo, and he's able to make the play.
One down for Dustin Pedroia. Because of that catch, the video is delayed.
Oh, that's a shame. That's should have gone right to the video. The catch wasn't that great.
Pitch outside for ball one. I don't make those decisions.
No,
I don't get to do that.
I don't either. But I'm just so anxious to see the inside of our booth. How we get into our booth. I'm telling you, to get to my seat.
It is really something.
There's a lot of people that have been in this booth too. A lot of tours come through this booth
when we're not here. What did you call my last video in Baltimore? Exciting, I think is what you called it.
Yeah, that was exciting.
2-0 pitch, chop to short. Bianchi on the high hop. Throws out Pedroia, and it is time now for the true view from the booth. As you walk in here on the 5th floor of Fenway Park, and of course Ken Coleman, the radio booth there. And you walk up to the TV booth, and Ned Martin's picture is there, and then in you come to the Nesson Fenway Park booth. And there's lots of people. Thanks, Joe Stafford in the way. Joe, get out of the way. And as we head in here to the stairwell, a lot of people don't know about the stairwell, but there it is down here into our area.
We're like in a little bunker down here in this booth.
And then I sit down, and he caught it. Pitch is up and away. So that is our view. This is the opposite side of our view, but this is what people see, but us looking out. But that wasn't bad.
Well, no, it was terrific.
It was really good.
You know what you ought to do when the weather warms up a little bit? So Ortiz picks up the base hit on a breaking ball to center field. So the Red Sox stay away from the 1-2-3 inning. What you should do when the weather gets a little warmer, I think what people would like to see is behind the scoreboard. A lot of people don't get a chance to go in there, so I think you should take your little camera and go out there and make a documentary about, behind it there. Look at all the autographs that are on the wall out there, and I think that would be something people would be interested in seeing.
Now you're helping. You're not just making fun of me or criticizing. You're actually coming up.
Don, I never make fun of you. I never make fun of you.
And there is a look inside, the green monster and what it'll look like, but it'll look different in our video. But now you're helping, because we're going to come up with like 149 of these as this one is fouled back.
You know what I would do one night? After a tough Red Sox loss, I would take video of you going to your car
A Friday or Saturday night, or just any night?
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday seems to be a little bit more spirited.
Yes. People might find that interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. You know what I should do is trail you to your car.
You can catch me if you can. For years I've been trying to get Nesson to follow me right after a game, and how quickly I can get out of here, get in my car, and get on the Mass Pike, and I could actually do a hit from the car.
From your car.
On the way home on the postgame show.
They got to have the technology to do that. On the ground to short. Bianchi to second base for the out that ends the inning. We have played 3 from Fenway. It's 2-0 Milwaukee. The free house cleaning courtesy of Made Pro. Free checking and a dust-free home. Another neat idea from Eastern Bank. We're here your first. Details at easternbank.com/clean. Top half of the 4th inning, and leading it off here for Milwaukee is Jonathan Lucroy, who takes strike 1 from John Lester. Lester fresh off his 1-2-3 third inning. And 2 strikeouts in the inning, getting Braun and Ramirez to strike out in the third. Two runs on 4 hits and an error for Milwaukee. No runs, 4 hits and an error for Boston. Lucroy to right field. Nava back a few steps to make the catch, middle of the cap high. Let's send it back down to L.
Don, John Farrell said that one of the reasons that Jonathan Herrera actually made this team is because of his experience at shortstop. But, of course, with the injury to Will Middlebrooks, he had to move over to third base. I asked him this morning about his comfortability at the hot corner. He said, obviously, you have less time to react, and that's difficult. But he has had some sporadic time there in the last few years. And the job of a utility player is to just be prepared for anything. And, Don, based on that play he made last inning, it looks like he's prepared.
Yeah, he was ready for that, no doubt about it. Looked very comfortable so far at third base in the 2 games.
Well, the other thing you do, too, when you're used to playing shortstop or second base, you follow the ball right from the pitcher's hand. You don't do that at third base. You don't pick the baseball up out of the pitcher's hand. It's almost like you're watching the pitcher, then you go right to the hitter. So there are big adjustments to just making that switch from a shortstop to a third baseman. And you're right about the reaction time. There is very little reaction time down at third base.
50th pitch coming up here for John Lester. And it's foul back. Still 0-2. In the dirt on the breaking ball, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Everybody likes cotton candy.
I'm not a big fan.
Well, you don't care?
No,
you don't care for it?
No. I like the first 2 bites, and then after that it becomes too much. Swing and a miss, and striking out is Davis. That's a 3rd K for Lester. 2 down.
It's a little similar to his last outing where the K's start building as he gets a little deeper into the ball game. That's the cut fastball again from Lester to pick up the strikeout. So Davis, who had the bunt base hit back in the 2nd inning, strikes out in his 2nd at bat. Shift put on here as Reynolds comes to the plate.
Reynolds with an RBI single in the 2nd inning. And he swings at that first pitch and fouls it back. Not only is it too sweet, Jerry, but then it gets messy pretty quickly.
It's sticky.
Yeah, very sticky.
Very sticky, yeah.
In there for strike 2, 0-2 to Mark Reynolds. John Lester struck out 8 in his first outing against Baltimore. So far 3 Ks today. And it's lined to 3rd. Herrera able to make the grab before he goes down on one knee. 9 in a row retired by John Lester. 2-0 Milwaukee. You can still get something great for free, like free checking from Eastern Bank, which has no minimum balance or monthly fees. It's why at Eastern Bank, here, you're first. A beautiful day in Boston with blue skies above, still on the chilly side, but lots of sunshine. And the breeze from left to right across the outfield as we play into the bottom of the 4th inning. Xander Bogaerts leading it off and taking ball 1 down and away. Part of our Chevy key player today, Xander Bogaerts. This season reached base 3+ times in 3 games. And today has already reached once on a single in the second inning. Bogarts chops it foul. They'll bring the family out to the ballpark for one of the Sox Sabres games this season. Select April and May dates provide the lowest prices of the season, with tickets starting at just $10. To get your Sox Sabre game tickets, visit www.redsox.com/tickets. Did he go? They'll check, and he did not, says Tim Timmons.
Trying to stay off that high fastball that time, and a good call by Timmons down at first base.
Johnny Gomes waiting on deck as Bogarts fouls off another, this time into the Brewers dugout. Shadows creeping towards the home plate area. Not quite to the plate yet as we play day baseball from Fenway Park today. Bottom of the fourth inning. '60th pitch for Gallardo is a 3-2, and it is sharply hit to short. Picked by Bianchi. And is throwing plenty of time to get Bogarts. Sharply hit, but right at the shortstop.
Once again, the ball hit very hard by Xander Bogaerts, but a topspin ground ball, and Bianchi is right there to be able to make the play. First start of the series for him. Almost got caught back on his heels on that, but able to make the catch and throw to first base.
One out for Johnny Gomes. Gomes struck out looking in the second inning. 2 for 15 to start the year. Line to left, and diving is Davis in left field to make the catch. He robs Gomes of a base hit, and maybe more as he lays it out there in left field, and Gomes is 0 for 2.
Well, one thing he's doing that we don't see a lot of left fielders do on visiting clubs is play shallow out there in left field, and that gave him a chance to make a play on that ball. Certainly appreciated by the pitcher, but playing shallow, going to his right, diving, and possibly taking 2 bases away from Johnny Gomes.
Rare running up and showing bunt, didn't offer as they charge from the corners. Rare singled the center field in the second inning. How often would you fake bunt just to grab the attention or at least put the thought in third baseman's head?
You do it once in a while, but there was really not much need to because every time I got up, they were in tight anyway. You know,
they're expecting it.
They're expecting it, so there wasn't much need to fake a bunt.
Does it bother you today that there are several players who just cannot bunt or do not practice bunting at all?
I think it's a lost part of the ball game. I really do. There were some excellent bunters years back, and one attempt right there by Herrera. And, you know, I think in some cases it can rattle pitches. I know it ticks them off. There's no question about that, you know. And, you know, there are right times in the game to try it. But like right now with 2 outs, you know, you kind of almost would rather see Herrera try to swing the bat and try to get a double in this situation, get in the scoring position.
Two-2 is grounded right side. Ricky Weeks plays it off to his left and throws out Herrera. A 1-2-3 inning in the fourth. We'll talk about the National League powers when we return.
Zion.com asks, who's your favorite to win the National League pennant? We want you to text Sox 1 if you think it's the Dodgers. Text Sox 2 if it's the Cardinals. Sox 3 for the Nationals. Or Sox 4 if you just think it'll be someone else. You can text your answer to 536-536. Remember that message and data rates may apply. Text help for info and visit Nesson.com/terms for all the legal stuff you need.
Ardell, thanks very much. The Cardinals trying to get back to the World Series once again as we play along here to the top half of the fifth inning. Day baseball from Fenway Park. Both teams with 4 hits, but Milwaukee, thanks to a pair of runs in the second inning, enjoys a 2-0 lead. They have already secured games 1 and 2 of this 3-game series. Lyle Overbay leads it off and takes ball 1. Overbay flat out to the warning track in left field in the second inning. Now lifts it down the left field line again. Headed to the corner is Gomes, and Gomes unable to catch it as it lands into the seats. Johnny didn't know where it was. He's kind of bracing himself out there for the ball to fall.
Might have had some problem with the sun, too, as he heads in that direction. You see, he's got that glove up, and he really doesn't have any idea where the baseball is, just about how close he was to the wall. So very tough to see right now with the sun shining down. No clouds up there today, bright blue sky.
Overbay breaks his bat, grounds it back to Lester. He'll run to first base and flip underhanded to retire Overbay. That is 10 in a row retired by the Red Sox left-hander. 1 out for Jeff Bianchi coming up here. Bianchi fouled out a nice catch by Daniel Nava, reaching into the first row of seats down the right field line. And a swing and a miss for strike 1 on a pitch that was up and in.
Not exactly where Lester wants to cut fastball, but still effective as he gets the swing and miss.
In the dirt outside, 1-2 to Bianchi.
One of the few changeups that Lester has featured in this game this afternoon.
Outside, 2-2. John Lackey will go up against Tanner Scheppers, a right-hander, here tomorrow when the Texas Rangers come into Fenway Park to begin a 3-game series. Swing and a miss, and Bianchi strikes out. 4 Ks now for Lester, who is now in a pretty good groove. That is 11 in a row retired by Lester.
Well, 2 strikeouts on curveballs, 2 on cut fastballs. This the cut fastball down out of the strike zone, but very tough pitch for those right-handers to lay off of.
Meek Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. You can add the 4th K of the day up there. Carlos Gomez takes ball 1. Pitch framed that time by Ross, but it's outside. On the ground to short, Bogaerts plays the hop and fires sidearmed and in time. Gomez is gone, and so are the Brewers. It's 12 in a row retired by John Lester. Facilities throughout the Northeast. Wow, bet you didn't know FWWeb did that. More on this proud Red Sox sponsor at FWWeb.com. Today's game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. So far, Giovanni Gallardo, 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, not giving up a run. John Lester charged of 2 runs, 1 earned in 5 innings. Xander Bogaerts 1 for 2 for the Red Sox with a single. And so far, the Red Sox have been able to push across a run here in Game 3 of the series. They'll try here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jackie Bradley Jr., David Ross, and Daniel Nava. Bradley grounded out to the second baseman, Ricky Weeks, in the 2nd inning. On the ground to first base, a high hop for Overbay, taking himself to the bag for the first out of the inning.
That was a changeup that time, and I believe that's the first changeup that we've seen today against the Red Sox. Ball hit pretty well by Jackie Bradley, but right at Weeks at second base. Excuse me, Overbay at first base, but we mentioned he's basically a fastball, curveball, cutter type pitcher, occasional change, and If my scorecard is correct, that's the first one of the day.
One down for David Ross. Grounded out shortstop in the second inning. Skies one foul off to the right, out of play. Gallardo, the first pitcher in franchise history to make 5 straight opening day starts. Brings the 1-1. And it's on the ground softly down the third baseline. Picked by Reynolds. Off balance throw and plenty of time to get David Ross for the second out of the inning.
Well, Reynolds just previous to that putting those seeds in his mouth and fortunately got them back in his pocket before the ground ball headed down in his direction. Fronting the baseball, the off balance throw, and a good one to Overbay at first base for the out.
Two down in the fifth inning for Daniel Nava. Nava's grounded out to third base and lined back to the pitcher. In tight for ball 2. Red Sox have stranded 4 men on through the first 4 innings. A little bit low, and Nava's ahead 3-1. Dustin Pedroia waiting on deck. Giovanni Gallardo has retired 6 Red Sox in a row. And Nava grounds one down the first base line by the dive of Overbay. Braun gets it and fires it back in to second base, and Nava will be safe at second. It turned out to be very close at second base. Nice throw by Braun.
Yeah, Braun made a very nice play out there in right field as this ball comes off the wall, spins, and made it a very close play at second base. Looked like it was going to be an easy double for Daniel Nava as he gets it by Overbay down that first base line. But Braun tracks it down, spins, and throws a bullet into second base in a very close play. See Nava taking a look back at the throw and realized he had to hustle and get into second base very quickly.
In scoring position with 2 down for Dustin Pedroia. Ball 1 got away from Lucroy, but no advance at second base for Nava.
Well, the Red Sox need a momentum changer right here because John Lester right now throwing the ball very well. Red Sox got to try and get something on the board.
They got only 1 run of support in his 7 innings against Baltimore, and so far none today. '80th pitch for Gallardo. Pedroia takes the strike right at the bottom of the zone. 2-1. David Ortiz on deck with 2 outs in the inning. And Pedroia ahead 3-1. He and Nava both had been ahead in the count against Gallardo. On the ground towards third. Reynolds will throw to first base for the out that ends the 5th inning. We are 6th inning bound with the Milwaukee Brewers on top 2-0. Time now for the AT&T Fan Photo. Tweet your photo using hashtag NESSANFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in our broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T.
No purchase necessary.
When are we going to see some of those fan photos?
I was curious about that.
Yes. Ricky Weeks leading it off here in the 6th inning.
Just got word that that's debuting tomorrow here on Red Sox baseball.
Red Sox and Rangers tomorrow night from Fenway Park. Now tomorrow is a 7 o'clock start, 7:10 officially, but Tuesday is a 6 o'clock start, right?
Yes, it is, and the following day is a 4 o'clock start.
So some different times coming up here in the next 3 days to be aware of.
Yeah, make sure you check your tickets if you're coming in the next 3 days. Staggered start times.
I like that. Staggered start times. In there for a strike. Here's the schedule as we speak. 7, 6, and 4 are the next 3 days, and it's off to New York and Chicago. Off day in between. Back home, take on Baltimore, New York, and then to Toronto.
That's an expensive road trip right there, New York and Chicago.
Yes. Swing and a miss for Ricky Weeks. Weeks strikes out for the 5th strikeout for John Lester in the first out of the 6th inning.
Back to the curveball for Lester to pick up the strikeout. As Weeks is now 0 for 3 in the game.
And put that 5th K up there as Lester is now retired 13 batters in a row as he deals with Ryan Braun, who's got one of those strikeouts. Braun singled in the first and struck out swinging in the third.
Hey, you ruined the game, Braun!
To right field, falling fast. Nava on the move is there, and he makes the catch for the second out. Well, if you're a Red Sox or Bruins fan, but you're not following NESN on Twitter, you're missing out on the latest game updates, breaking news, and programming alerts. Follow us on Twitter and let all things Red Sox and Bruins come to you. Follow NESN at twitter.com/NESN. 2 outs in the 6th inning for Ramos Ramirez. That's a fly ball to Nava in right. He'll put it away to end the top of the 6th inning. 5.5 done, 2-0 Milwaukee. And your order is delivered that same afternoon. Who but W.B. Mason? Bottom of the 6th inning back at Fenway Park. Brewers have a 2-0 lead. And it is 3, 4, and 5 for Boston. Ortiz, Napoli, and Bogarts to face Gallardo, who's thrown 83 pitches through the first 5 innings. Shift on here for David Ortiz on the right side as Big Papi's lined out to center field and singled to center field. He's got 1 of 5 Boston hits. Red Sox out hitting Milwaukee 5-4, but trail 2-0. And Ortiz jumping on that first pitch, fouling it back. Chop down the first baseline, right at Overbay, who will tag the bag, and Ortiz is retired for the first out of the 6th inning. Well, Mike Napoli coming up, and we'll learn more about Mike Napoli, who was 0 for 2 today. Wants to go to Italy. Favorite band is Journey. Pandora. And Surf and Turf. And he likes it a certain way, medium rare. Journey surprises me. Does that surprise you at all?
From Napoli, probably not.
Really?
I don't know. I really don't know what kind of music he likes or not.
One-0 pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 1-1.
How do you like your steak?
I like it medium, not medium rare.
Medium.
Yeah, just medium.
A little pink in the middle.
I like a little pink in the middle, yeah. surprised you don't know that. You and I have had our fair share of steak over the years. I mean, is there anything else we've had?
I think my favorite's up in Toronto when you get one of those day games and you get to walk over to that restaurant that's right near the Hotel Morton's.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Get that big
porterhouse.
Oh. And you go back to your room and you lay on your stomach for about an hour.
Of course, you eat at 5 o'clock most nights and back in your room by 5:30.
I've actually been to that restaurant where it's not open yet. I've had to wait outside the door. I'm not kidding.
Put the pressure on them.
Yeah.
Stare at them through the windows.
Stare right through the door.
People think you're kidding. You're not. They have to feel the pressure that you are looking at them through the window from the outside to open the restaurant. They have to. This gentleman is staring at us through the window. Napoli strikes out. He thought he had ball 4, and there have been a lot of looks back at Clint Fagan today. That is strikeout number 3 for Gallardo. It's time for a Toyota Game Break. BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals. Here's Tom Caron. All right, Tom, thanks very much. Yes, CC Sabathia roughed up by the Houston Astros in his first start of the year in Houston. There's a fly ball to center field off the bat of Bogarts. Battling is Gomez, the sun out there in center, but he sees it into the glove and makes the catch as the Red Sox are retired in order in the 6th inning. 2-0 Milwaukee. Red Sox as we head to the top half of the 7th inning. John Lester's been outstanding again today, but has received no run support again today. Jonathan Lucroy to lead it off here for Milwaukee. And he grounds it foul over by his own dugout. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation, which helps children battling cancer, students trying to afford college, soldiers returning from war, kids playing Little League, and RBI programs, and families in need of holistic, comprehensive health care. This is the work of the Red Sox Foundation. Lester has retired 15 batters in a row. Count evens at 1-1. He's 75 pitches deep into his outing. One of the 2 runs that he has allowed is earned. Lucroy doubling back in the second inning. He scored one of those 2 runs and lined out sharply to right field in the 4th inning. Davis, then Reynolds to bat in the inning as this is fouled off to the right, out of play. Chris Davis waiting on deck, has got a hit today, 1 for 2. And made a very good catch in left field. On the ground to third base, Herrera throws across to get Lucroy for the first out of the 7th inning as we check back in with L.
Don, all game you and Jerry have been talking about the fact that the Brew Crew is extremely aggressive. I think A.J. Brzezinski said it best yesterday when he said they're like a T-ball team. They just run until you tag them. So before today's game, I asked David Ross, as a catcher, is there anything that he can do to kind of quell some of that momentum, some of that aggression? And he said the key really is to just be just as aggressive as they are. Attack them right away. Try to get ahead of yourself in the count so that they'll swing really at garbage. And I think, Don, that kind of speaks for itself. You probably want to get ahead of the count with most batters.
Yeah, no doubt, though. They are swinging first and second pitch. We've seen them aggressive on the base paths. Everything they do has been aggressive in this series. And it's worked out for them. They've won the first 2 and have a 2-0 lead here in Game 3. One-0 is in there for a strike, and it's 1-1.
So we go to Milwaukee this year?
No.
We will not see them again this year. This is it. Because I guarantee by the time, if we did get back there, they would be last in the league in walks.
This is lined towards left center field. It's going to get down a gapper to the track of the wall. Bradley back to play it as Davis heads for second base. The throw's going to be not in time. Looked like the ball was there. The tag was not. And Davis breaks up a string of 16 in a row, retired by John Lester.
Oh, that was a nice throw by Jackie Bradley Jr. And then Dustin Pedroia thought he had the out at second base. Second base hit of the day by Davis. His first a bunt base hit. Bradley Jr. coming with a very strong throw into second. Pedroia slapping the glove down, but apparently the foot on the bag before the tag. Let's take a look from this angle. Yeah, I think he might have got that left foot on the bag before the tag came from Dustin.
It looked like he came off there for a minute, too.
It did pop up a little bit, yes. But then his right shin got it, his right knee.
Down and in, ball 1 to Mark Reynolds with the runner at second and 1 down. Good throw from Jackie Bradley Jr. Almost had Chris Davis at second base. That's a situation right there. Not that it was that close, but John Farrell would have already used his challenge in this instance. It would have to be a crew chief initiated reviewable play, which in this case would be Tim Welke. The 2-0 pitch is going to miss, and it's 3-0. John Farrell could go out and ask Tim Welke to review that, but he can't demand a challenge in that instance because Red Sox have already had their challenge and lost. First challenge of the year. A 4-pitch walk here to Reynolds. And he heads down to first base with 1 out here in the 7th inning. 2 on for the Brewers. I want to remind you not to miss the Dennis and Callahan Show, presented by Town Fair Tire, Monday through Friday here on Nesson at 6 a.m. and on 93.7 WEEI FM. 1 out in the 7th inning. Davis at second, Reynolds at first, and Lyle Overbay the batter. Overbay flying out to the warning track in the second inning, grounding back to the mound in the fifth. There's strike one. Shadows now creeping over the home plate area, not yet halfway to the mound. Big spot here for the Brewers, trying to add on to their 2-0 advantage with 2 on and 1 out.
Yeah, they have played this series against the Red Sox with an awful lot of confidence in every phase of the game.
Outside to Overbay again. That's where he stayed the entire sequence here. All 4 pitches off the outside edge. On a count of 2-2. And Lester about to throw his 90th pitch of the day. Fouled back, still 2-2. A little closer to the corner that time, and at 93 miles an hour. Lester just had a string of 16 batters in a row retired, broken up by Chris Davis with a double to the gap in left center field. And he walked Mark Reynolds, so first and second for Milwaukee with 1 out here in the 7th inning. Full count now. First time that he's come in.
Trying to come inside with the cut fastball after everything had been away in this at bat to Overbay.
Popped up foul, backing out of play. Eighth pitch of the at bat coming up here for Lyle Overbay. Full count with runners at first and second. Overbay strikes out. Lester gets him. John Lester picks up his 6th K. Couldn't have come at a better time. 2 down.
Everything that Lyle Overbay in that at bat was away with the exception of 1 pitch. Back down and away with the cut fastball will pick up the strikeout. So now 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Another beautifully pitched game today by John Lester. That's back-to-back really good starts against Baltimore and now against Milwaukee.
Jeff Bianchi, the batter here for Milwaukee. 0 for 2 in the contest. He is fouled out down the right field line and struck out from his number 9 spot in the order. And Bianchi fouls it off down the right field line. Well, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards their $25,000 donation this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Two on, 2 down, and Bianchi down in the count 0-1. Up high for ball 2, 2-1. Lester frustrated with himself. And Ross out to check on him here.
Trying to calm him down just a little bit. Really, really upset over that last delivery to home plate. Get his focus back where it should be. Man in scoring position at second base.
The Yankee hits it on the ground through the left side into left field. A base hit. Johnny Gomes up and throwing, trying to score is Davis, and he will be safe as the Brewers pick up their third run of the day. Right through the left side. Gomes charging all the way, trying to get a good throw off. And it is late as Davis scores, and Milwaukee takes a 3-0 lead.
Look where Johnny Gomes got this ground ball in the outfield. There was going to be a chance for a play at home plate. He's actually got the ball just about the same time that runner tags third, but the throw's going to be off target, up the third base line, and the third run comes home of the day for the Brewers. David Ross going down to one knee to make that play on the throw, make sure it doesn't get by him.
Gomes with a swing and a miss. It gets by everything, and the runners move up. And coming around now to the plate, trying to score is Reynolds. The throw, no, what are they going to say here? He's saying a foul ball, I think. Farrell's coming out to argue. I think it may have hit Gomes, too. There's a lot of things that could be in play here, Jerry.
Yeah, we're going to have a little meeting, I think, between the umpires, and
we're sending people back.
And now out comes Renicky from the other side.
I think he swung and missed, and it may have hit him. It did.
Yeah, it did. He hit the back of his foot.
It was swing and a miss, but hit by the pitch, and because he's swinging, it is a strike.
You don't see that very often, do you?
Don't. So Renicky back to the dugout. It remains first and second with two down. Now an 0-1 pitch. Snap throw to first and back to the bag safely, but running to third base is Reynolds. So they snap throw to first. Bianchi is able to get back, but it is Reynolds who gets to third base.
That's good hustle by and good heads-up baseball by the Brewers. You get the pickoff attempt, and Red Sox trying to get it out to get out of the inning. And while this is going on right here, and the foot is caught beneath the runner for Napoli, the runner Reynolds continues on to third base.
First and third now for Milwaukee. 1-1 to Carlos Gomez. 0 for 3 today in this game. And a squeeze here from third. The throw is going to be in time. It ends the inning, but a run for the Brewers, who take a 3-0 lead. 7th inning stretch from Fenway. Gomes, Herrera, Bradley Jr. coming up. swing and a miss. John Lester, 101 pitches deep into his outing, surrenders a run in the top half of the 7th inning. Milwaukee enjoys a 3-0 advantage as the Red Sox coming up here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Giovanni Gallardo back on the mound on the other side for the Milwaukee Brewers has thrown 92 pitches through the first 6 innings. There is action in the Brewers bullpen. Bullpens we saw a lot of in last night's 11-inning affair, and Zach Duke was one of the pitchers we saw in last night's game. He is warming up for the Brewers. Well, NESN is looking for youth baseball and softball teams to be a live studio audience for our new Red Sox pregame show on select Sunday road games, NESN Clubhouse, where kids run the show. Visit NESN.com/clubhouse sweepstakes to enter your son or daughter's team. The experience includes a pizza party before and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be an active part of the studio audience. And Wally meeting some Brewers fans here. A lot of Brewers fans coming from Milwaukee for this series. And as we play along to the bottom of the 7th inning. Watch Sox in 2 every game day at midnight. Presented by Kiel Vodka. Stay balanced.
Wally very popular as he makes his way through the crowd. Posing for pitches.
Wally is hard to miss.
Yeah, he is.
It's not like he's going to walk by you and you're not going to notice. You know, I mean, Johnny Gomes, Jonathan Herrera, Jackie Bradley Jr. to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning.
That was here for Wally's first appearance coming out of the Green Monster. It didn't go over real big with the crowd that night.
I was not here for that, but it was not well received, from what I understand.
In those days, people wanted no part of a mascot.
And Gomes takes it down low for ball 1. Did he come right out of the Green Monster the first time? Like
yes.
He was coming out of his house? Yeah.
Right out of his house, yeah.
Shadows making their way out towards the mound. Home plate's been covered for better than an inning. On the outside corner. Holmes not happy with that call at all, and it is 2-2.
There's been quite a few pitches in this game that Johnny Gomes has not been happy with, and I can't blame him on this last one. That ball looked to be down and away.
In the air to center field. Carlos Gomez battling the sun, the center fielder. Makes the catch for the first out of the 7th inning. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, never forgets that before you're a patient, you're a person. Beth Israel Deaconess, human first. Learn more at bidmc.org/human first. 1 out in the 7th, 5 in a row retired by Gallardo. And Jonathan Herrera gets his 3rd at bat of the day. He singled in the 2nd inning. One of the 5 Boston hits on the day. Herrera getting his 2nd straight start at 3rd base. If you're just joining us, Will Middlebrooks placed on the DL with a right calf strain today. The combination of Herrera and the just called up Brock Holt will be taking over at 3rd base. '100th pitch for Gallardo. And it's in there for strike 2.
Well, the feeling coming into the game that Gallardo was a guy that the Red Sox could maybe shake out of this ball game early with a high pitch count, but it really has not been the case here this afternoon.
Fly ball to center field. Gomez having to go back. This will take him to the edge of the track. But he makes the catch for the second out of the 7th inning. He's into the last 3 outs, in fact. Final out of the 6th. First 2 outs here of the 7th.
Well, hit pretty well by Herrera, but Gomez again battling the sun out there in center field. Gets a good track on the ball and right back to the warning track to make the catch.
2 down for Jackie Bradley Jr. He is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice to the right side of the infield, once to second and once to first. Fouled off to the left, out of play. Foul back again, still 0-2.
Trying to elevate that fastball on Bradley Jr. with the 2-strike count.
Fly ball struck well to left field by Jackie Bradley Jr. Davis going back, but it's going to be off the scoreboard. Gomez plays it and fires it back in, but it's a double for Jackie Bradley Jr.
Good opposite field power shown there by Bradley Jr. as he takes a breaking ball, a curveball, and slaps it to the opposite field. Davis was playing very shallow in left field, but really nobody had a shot at this. That's going to find that left field wall up on the scoreboard. Gomez with the throw in at second base, but not in time to get Bradley.
2 outs. Bradley at second base, and David Ross, the batter. Ross 0 for 2. He's grounded out to short, grounded out to third. On the ground up the middle, ranging his Weeks. His throw is not going to be in time. 2 bounces to the first baseman, and Ross able to beat it out. Jackie Bradley Jr. takes third. And the tying run coming to the plate now for Boston.
And I think the first intention right there for Weeks was to try to keep the ball from going to the outfield and have the runner score. Once he makes a catch, he throws the ball almost directly into the ground. Off balance throw as he knew he had the rush. And Ross safe at first base with the base hit. You see he's on that shortstop side of the bag. He knows he has to get rid of it quickly. Couldn't get anything on the throw.
Well, Ron Renneke making the pitching change. Will step aside. 3-0 Brewers. Medium beverage when you enroll in the Dunkin' Donuts Rewards program. DD Perks. Then just pay with your registered DD card or the DD mobile app to earn points towards more free beverages. It's Dunkin's way of rewarding their loyal fans. Enroll today at ddperks.com. Red Sox run on Dunkin'. Giovanni Gallardo, done after 6 2/3 innings, ends up with 109 pitches and leaves with a 3-0 advantage. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by New England Ford dealers. As Zach Duke is into the game here. Duke has appeared in all 3 games of this 3-game series. Last year spent between Washington and Cincinnati. Total of 26 games, a 6.03 earned run average. One of the interesting parts of this game, if the Red Sox can get a little bit closer, is whether or not K-Rod, the closer for Milwaukee, would be available today after he pitched in the first 2 games of the series. Non-save situation, finished off game 1. Last night saved the game. And whether he'd be available today, we'll find out. Daniel Nava would like to get the Red Sox closer with Bradley at third, Ross at first, and Nava with a swing and a miss for strike 1. On a strike now to Nava. Gallardo responsible for Bradley at third, Ross at first. Did not give up a run in his first 6 2/3 innings. 7 hits, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. And again, 109 pitches today for Gallardo. Tyler Thornburg, who we've seen in this series, up in the pen. Two balls and a strike here to Daniel Nava. Nava hits a fly ball to center field. Carlos Gomez is out there, and he makes the catch that ends the threat for the Red Sox. They threaten but do not score. Milwaukee with a 3-0 advantage at the end of 7. seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway, all with a 200% guarantee. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MySeats. Well, they're having a good time today. The Red Sox trail 3-0 as we head to the top half of the 8th inning. And John Lester back on the mound for the 8th in his first outing. On opening day in Baltimore, he went 7 innings, and today works into the 8th, trailing 3-0. There is action in the Boston pen as this 8th inning begins. Edward Mujica, who had a very tough outing in Game 1 of the series against the Brewers, warms in the pen. Red Sox using a lot of that pen in last night's 11-inning loss. Here's Ricky Weeks with Ryan Braun and Aramis Ramirez to follow here in the 8th. Weeks is 0 for 3 today, having grounded out to short and a third before striking out in the 6th inning.
Struck him out at a curveball last time. Starts him off with a curveball this time, and the ground ball fouled on that third base line.
Lester, at one point in this game, middle portion of the game, had retired 16 batters in a row. Allowed 2 runs in the 2nd, a run in the 7th. While the Red Sox offense has been stymied. Final line on Giovanni Gallardo, who started today for Milwaukee, 6 2/3, 7 hits, no runs. He didn't walk anybody and struck out 3. Chance to better his record to 2-0. Lester falling behind 3-1. To left field. Johnny Gomes was headed back, now comes in to make the catch for the first out of the 8th inning. One out here in the 8th. Jerry, did you know that about Chicago? St. Louis or Cincinnati?
I didn't even know this was the pop-up inning.
It is. Yes, it is. One out for Ryan Braun. 1 for 3 in the game. A single back in the first. Two balls, no strikes to Braun. Aramis Ramirez waiting on deck. Milwaukee batting here in the top of the 8th inning. Shadows now about halfway to the pitcher's mound from the plate. Line towards the gap in right center field, and it'll get down. Jackie Bradley Jr. cuts it off, and Braun has his 2nd hit of the day, a 1-out single here in the 8th.
And John Farrell making his way out of the dugout, and John Lester's going to probably try to talk him into finishing this inning, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
So Edward Mujica will be coming in. The Brewers have a 3-0 advantage. Hardware was handed out at Fenway Park. Third Gold Glove Award for Dustin Pedroia, handed to him before the ball game today, and well-deserved for Dustin. And Silver Slugger Award for David Ortiz. All the hardware from last season's accomplishments, and they get them today here at Fenway Park as part of a pregame ceremony. Now John Lester done after 7 1/3 innings, 7 hits, walked a batter, struck out 6, and responsible for Braun at first base. So far today, charged with 3 runs and on the hook as he departs. Ended up throwing 109 pitches. Here is Edward Mujica. 65 games last year for the Cardinals. Had 37 saves, working at 64 2/3 innings. Mentioned the difficult outing that he had in the first game of the series. It was a tie game when he came in, and all of a sudden things started happening fast. The Milwaukee Brewers piled up some runs. He ended up getting the loss in the home opener. He gave up 4 hits and 4 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning.
John Farrell was asked about that outing by Mujica, and he said it's just a matter of the Milwaukee Brewers knowing him, knowing he throws a lot of strikes. They were very aggressive against him early in the count, and a number of his pitches were up in the zone. That first fastball right there down in the zone.
Throw to first, and diving back is Braun.
Braun has 1 steal on the season, has not been caught.
Strike over the outside corner. Mujica signed by the Red Sox as a free agent early in December, turning to the American League after spending the last 5 years in the National League with San Diego, Miami, and St. Louis. Began his pro career, made his major league debut with Cleveland. Runner goes. The throw from Ross is off the mark and into center field. Braun keeps on going to third. Here's the throw from Jackie Bradley Jr., and that's going to be late. Ross has had a few throws that have been off the mark and has fired into center field a few times in this game.
Yeah, 1 on a pickoff attempt, and now the steal by Braun. Throw not really close at all by Ross as it gets by Pedroia. The pop-up slide, and on to third base goes the runner. So the Red Sox now have to pull the infield in with 1 out. It's one of those throws that you know as soon as you release it, it's not going to be a good one.
So that infield in with 1 out. 2-2 pitch to Ramirez. And he lines it to right field, in for a base hit. Braun was headed back towards third, but will now score without a problem. And the Brewers up their lead to 4-0. That run is charged to John Lester, as the book is now closed on Lester.
El Ramirez getting the fastball that time and just reaching out. Line drive that's going to drop in front of Nava. The base runner was tagging up in case Nava caught that ball. Once it got to Nava on the bounce, that's when Braun took off and still able to score.
And strike 1 to Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy doubled back in the second inning and scored a 1-for-3 day for the Milwaukee catcher. Low and away, and it's 2-1. Popped up foul off to the right, out of play. Well, stay tuned today following WB Extra innings for Red Sox final presented by Esurance. Get your Sox clubhouse reaction and Rangers series preview coming up, with the Rangers coming in to begin the 3-game series tomorrow night here at Fenway Park. 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 4 o'clock, the next 3 game times. Fouled off again, still 2-2.
What? It's called.
Whoa, we're moving quickly now. You're not buying that story?
Let me get. What is that again?
They had 54 balls, and apparently they were all blown away.
Well, the winds.
All of them.
50-mile-an-hour winds.
So they had to. 75 years ago.
Where are we getting these pop-up facts from anyway?
50 miles an hour winds. Lucroy heads down to first base after walking here in a lengthy at bat. Two on, 1 out, and 1 in so far for the Brewers, on top 4-0.
Well, Mahika has had no success at all against a former opponent in the National League, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Davis pops it up shallow right. Out goes Pedroia. Nava coming in. Nava puts it away for the second out of the top of the 8th inning. So Davis retired. He's got 2 hits today. Mark Reynolds coming up. Single and a walk. Reynolds has been on twice. His single in the second inning knocked in a run. He's had a productive series against Boston.
Fastball up around belt high, but no contact by Reynolds that time. And now a meeting between Ross and Mahika. Very quick meeting. Could be a sign mix up with a man at second base.
Mentioned the 4 runs that Mahika had given up in 2/3 of an inning in the home opener. Was the most runs he's allowed since August 4th of 2010 at Los Angeles. A span of 220 appearances in between, giving up 4 runs in an outing. Fouled off, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Want to relive the 2013 World Series? You can, with NESN's complete retelling of the Red Sox 2013 championship season in Band of Bearded Brothers. To get your DVD or Blu-ray, visit NESN.com/Red Sox DVD for a list of stores or to order online. 1-2. On the outside corner for strike 3. Mark Reynolds down by way of the K. A run for the Brewers, a 4-0 Milwaukee lead. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by AT Mobility, your Subaru dealers of New England, and by Southwest Airlines. And lots of sunshine here today in Boston, but not many runs. In fact, none for the Red Sox as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. 8 hits for Milwaukee to go along with their 4 runs. 7 hits for Boston. Back on the hill here for the Milwaukee Brewers is Zach Duke, who came on to get the final out of the 7th inning. And actually, it is Thornburg who is now taken over for Duke. Duke is not back out there. Tyler Thornburg will take over. Saw him in last night's game. 18 appearances overall, 7 starts. 3-1 with a 2.03 earned run average a year ago. Dustin Pedroia, David Ortiz, Mike Napoli expected in the inning. Red Sox had an opportunity in the 7th with 1st and 3rd and 2 down before Nava flied out to end the inning. Defensive change for the Brewers as Scooter Gennett takes over at second base. And Ricky Weeks is out of the ball game. In there for strike 2, 0-2. Pedroia with a look back at Clint Fagan. There have been a few of those today.
Now, Fagan has not been a popular umpire with quite a few members of both clubs today.
Check swing. They do not check.
The question is, where was the pitch? It was a pretty good pitch. It was a fastball down and away from Pedroia. He did not swing at it, but that call certainly could have gone the other way.
1-2 pitch. And Pedroia hits a fly ball to right field. Ryan Braun makes the catch for the first out of the bottom of the 8th. One out for David Ortiz. Red Sox have further action in their pen. Andrew Miller, left-hander. Ortiz is lined to center, single to center, and grounded out to first base. And a check swing foul off to the left. Thornburg operating at 93 miles an hour. Giovanni Gallardo started today for the Brewers. 6 2/3 shutout innings. Struck out 3, didn't walk anybody. A chance for his 2nd win of the year. Zach Duke went 1/3 of an inning. And now Tyler Thornburg on for Milwaukee here in the 8th as the first out of the inning. One. They'll bounce in for ball 2. Chopped off the plate. Thornburg will run it down and tag the bag himself. The pitcher quickly off the mound. 2 down in the inning as we check back in with L.
Don, after yesterday's 3-run homer, Mike Napoli's run total for April is at 7. That's actually tied for the AL League, but apparently April is his month. If you are counting from last April, that's 2013, to this April, he has 27 RBIs last April, 1 off from the ML lead. So the guy does well in this month at least. We'll see if that continues.
Yeah, April's been a good month for him, and so far this month has been a good one for him. Of course, the 3-run home run in last night's game for Napoli. Still looking for his first hit of today. He's 0 for 3 today. And he bats with 2 outs and the base is empty here in the 8th. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Fouled off to the right, and it's 0-2. Well, tune in tonight to NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Sarah Davis and Leah Hextall will have a Bruins playoff preview, and Steve Lyons breaks down John Lester's start. See what know-how can do. 2 outs in the 8th. Napoli reaches out and fouls it down the right field line. Now the Red Sox losing the series after dropping the first 2 games of the series, and first time they've lost in the interleague series since they were swept in 3 games against the Nationals in June of 2012. Chance that the Red Sox could be swept in this series, down 4-0 as they bat in the 8th. One-two to Mike Napoli. And a chopper up the middle. Jeanette just into the game in short center. The throw will be late. Napoli beats it out and has a base hit with 2 outs in the 8th inning.
Something you don't see very often. Mike Napoli picking up an infield hit, but Jeanette had to go so far towards second base in the outfield, and by the time he relayed that ball to first base, Napoli hustling all the way will beat it. As Napoli, he can smell a base hit right there, and he's able to beat the ball before he gets in that glove of Lyle Overbay.
2 down, Napoli at first base. Xander Bogaerts the batter. And a base hit back in the 2nd. A 1 for 3 day. Everybody in the Red Sox starting 9 has got a base hit with the exception of Johnny Gomes. Boston has 8 hits.
Same amount as the Milwaukee Brewers. They have 8 hits, but they have the 4 runs.
Bogaerts tops it foul, 0-2. Tyler Thornburg, the 3rd pitcher used today by Milwaukee, trying to work through the 8th. Check swing, and he goes around for strike 3, as that'll end the 8th. The Milwaukee Brewers have a 4-0 lead at the end of 8 from Fenway. right now with the MLB Preplay mobile app. Download for free and start predicting every at-bat of every Red Sox game all season. Compete one-on-one with other Red Sox fans for a chance to win the Preplay Triple Crown. 4-0 Milwaukee on top of Boston as they come to bat in the top of the 9th inning. And a first pitch strike for the new pitcher, Andrew Miller. Numbers from last year for Miller, who's been busy the last couple of days here at Fenway Park. He's pitched in all 3 games of this 3-game series against Milwaukee. Last night going just a third of an inning. Lyle Overbay head on the count, 2-1. Edward Mujica ends up going 2/3 of an inning. Gave up a hit, allowed an inherited runner to score. Walked a batter, struck out a batter. Miller able to spear this, turns and fires to first for out number 1 of the inning. I'll remind you to follow the Red Sox with MLB.com at bat for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry 10. Get scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit RedSox.com for details. 1 out in the top of the 9th inning, and takes us to Jeff Bianchi. Yankee 1 for 3 in the game with an RBI single in the 7th. Now 1 for 7 on the season. Taps it foul, down 0-2.
Well, nasty for those hitters right now with that shadow almost all the way out to the pitcher's mound. Very tough to pick the spin up on the breaking ball in these conditions.
Cy on pole and tied right now the Dodgers and other.
Other than
I mean, that could be anybody. It could be
right.
I mean, it could be Miami or
could be a new team. Could be a new team that's coming in the league.
Line over the outstretched glove of Bogaerts to left field, and Johnny Gomes will gather it. But it's the second hit of the game for Jeff Bianchi.
He's done a nice job coming in, playing in the first game of this series. He's picked up 2 hits. Does have an RBI in the afternoon. It's a breaking ball from Miller and right up over the head of Xander Bogaerts for the base hit. Knocked down out there on his knees by Johnny Gomes.
One out, one on. Carlos Gomez 0 for 4 from the top spot in the Brewers order. He has to dance out of the way of that pitch. Nice block there that time by Ross.
Fastball directly down in the dirt. And it was Gomez last time up that actually swung and missed at a pitch that hit him in the foot. Almost got hit again.
Wild swing there, and it's 1-1. Jim Henderson up in the pen for the Brewers.
Maybe some of those others, maybe the Miami ball club is up to a great start. 5-1. They've been scoring a lot of runs.
Line to short. Bogaerts gets it this time. Well, the last one, Bianchi was able to just get it up over his outstretched glove, but this time Gomez lines, and Bogaerts able to come down with this one.
Yeah, Bogaerts in perfect position right there, and he's got a little bit more ups than that. Didn't need him, though, to make that play.
2 down in the 9th with Bianchi at first base. And Scooter Gennett batting for the first time. Took over defensively last inning for Ricky Weeks at second base. Weeks had been 0 for 4 at the plate today. Strike over the outside corner. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, Johnny Gomes, Jonathan Herrera, and Jackie Bradley Jr. scheduled to bat for the Red Sox. Trailing by 4 runs at the moment with 2 down here in the top of the 9th. There's strike two. Ryan Braun on deck. 2-hit day today for Braun. Did he go? They check. No, he did not, says Tim Welke, third base umpire.
Back to the breaking ball, and again, that backside leaving a little bit against the big left-hander, but no swing by Jeanette.
Well, he went around that time and strikes out to end the inning. The Brewers strand a base runner. Johnny Gomes will lead it off in the bottom of the ninth. By Men's Warehouse, preview Rangers series, a breakdown Shepherds versus Lackey. That's tomorrow at 6 p.m. on Nesson. Some rally caps there. Red Sox trailing by 4 runs as they come to bat here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Johnny Gomes against Tyler Thornburg out there for his second inning of relief. Thornburg came into the 8th, allowed a hit, but got through it in 17 pitches. As a breaking ball in there for strike one to Johnny Gomes. Gomes 0 for 3 today. Strikeout, line out, and a flyout. Gomes rifles this to left. Davis going back. Going to be over his head and off the scoreboard. Davis gets it back in quickly, and Gomes got to throw the brakes on as he got around first base. But a leadoff long single for Johnny Gomes off the scoreboard and left. Well, the breakdown here for the Red Sox. Gallardo has a chance to get a win. He went 6 2/3 innings, allowing no runs. John Lester not getting any run support for his second straight outing. Gave up 4 runs, 2 of them earned in 7 1/3 innings. And a quiet day for the Red Sox. Johnny Gomes with that base hit. Everybody's got a hit in the Red Sox order, but Boston is still yet to push across a run.
Yeah, they have been unable today to keep that line moving. Just scattered hits for everybody in the lineup.
It was not a safe situation to begin the inning. The closer is now up. We wondered if they would go to him 3 days in a row. And K-Rod beginning to warm in the Milwaukee pen for Ron Renicky. And a swing and a miss, 0-2.
Good change up there by Thorndike. Second one that he's featured. He struck out Bogarts on the changeup back in the 8th inning.
Swing and a miss makes quick work of Jonathan Herrera for the first out of the 9th inning.
Thornburg with another changeup that time to pick up the strikeout.
Two strikeouts now for Thornburg. One down in the inning with a runner at first, and Jackie Bradley Jr. getting his 4th at bat of the day. He's grounded out twice and doubled today.
And with the 4-run lead, they have Lyle Overbay playing just behind Johnny Gomes down at first base with the left-handed hitter at the plate. He'll back off from that position right there.
Bradley takes the strike. A pinch hitter has come out on deck. A.J. Pierzynski has come out on deck for David Ross. Tap foul, 1-2. Tough series for the Red Sox. They lost the home opener, then last night in extra innings, trailing 4-0 today in the finale of this 3-game series.
It's like a changeup again.
And Bradley strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Thornburg. 2 down in the 9th.
Boy, Thornburg very effective with that pitch. He's got 3 strikeouts since coming into the game on it. Fastball, curveball, changeup, and the changeup very effective in the last couple of innings.
Well, pinch hitter, as you mentioned, for David Ross. Ross today had been 1 for 3. A.J. Pierzynski off to a 2 for 15 start in his Red Sox career. Runner goes. Pierzynski swings and grounds it to first base. A bobble by Overbay, stays with it and throws out Pierzynski to end the ball game. So the Milwaukee Brewers have come into Fenway Park and swept the Boston Red Sox. Today they blanked the Red Sox 4-0. Both teams with 9 hits. Everybody in the starting 9 had one today for the Red Sox, and another day in which John Lester's start is kind of wasted. He pitched well, but the Red Sox could not put together any offense. Tom Caron, a frustrating day from Fenway Park for the Sox.